Alrighty, folks, we need to talk about two things very important in the mortgage market. One, we need to talk about DSCR loans and conventional, and the fact that at least currently, as of this recording, we are sitting at a time where maybe it's time to do some rate buy downs and get some DSCRs in the low fives. And unfortunately, given what's going on in the conventional market, we are actually going to talk about adjustable rate mortgages, ARMs, the bane of my existence. But for some of you, I will admit they might make sense. Jonathan, how you doing? What's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So let's start where I'm comfortable first. 30-year fix. Talk about where we are with DSCR in conventional, and why right now is a great time to buy it down and set it and forget it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all saw what happened to the market yesterday. And I think after now, more than before, I'm having more conversations with people since yesterday being like, okay, you're right. I understand now that when the Feds lower rates, it doesn't mean that mortgage rates go down as well. Like they're like, I finally get it.
I get it after the fifth time.
But I'm still gonna wait because I think we're in a downward trend, right? That's the best. That's a great summary of the conversations that I'm having right now with the common investor, right? Now, with the more savvy investors, they are now frantically calling me saying, hey, I know now it's not going to move that much lower. I need to jump on opportunities now versus later. Right. And so those are the investors we're focused on. That's the community right now. Everyone knows that, bonds jumped like crazy yesterday. Conventional is up, right? Conventional overnight.
Significantly.
Overnight, conventional just flipped up like crazy. Now, we're in a position that conventional is higher now. DSCR actually for us, before going into the meeting, decreased a little bit. And it was kind of a weird move that happened, but it decreased a little bit. And now that conventional is up, the spread between conventional and DSCR is even better. Because DSCR hasn't reacted yet, right? So like the example that I have is yesterday, I was shocked when doing this, but we were pricing it out and I was locking a loan for a client. It was a 75% cash out, a 5.375% in the LLC, and it was only a 2.5% buy down on top of origination, all that, right? Buy downs just to buy it down to that rate. And I have to clarify that because people get mad, being saying like, "Oh, well, you said it was only, I said we have to be able to earn money, right? We can't work for free." But the buy down itself, right? It's 2.5% down to 5.375, and it was. Now we're again in this small window. I don't know how long it'll last, right? And I don't know how many people will listen, but we are in this very small window that you can buy it or lock it in, set it and forget it truly for the rest of forever. And what I tell clients right now too is like it's also more of a mental and an emotional buy down too. And the reason I say that is because when everyone has FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. And let's say mortgage rates for investment properties came down to the magic number, at like 5.5. And this is 5.5 without buying it down, right? That would mean that primary rates are anywhere between 3 to 4-ish%, maybe 4.5-ish, right? Around that range. So if we're talking about that realm, if you mentally have a 5 in front of your rate, you're going to be less, because it doesn't necessarily make sense to go from 5.99 to 5.5 or 5.5 to like 5, right?
Not for most people, no.
Correct. But mentally, you're going to look at that and be like, okay, I'm okay. I don't need to do anything, right? And it'll help you kind of check to move continuously forward without being stuck at I need to do something with the rate and this and that, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's more of a mental and an emotional thing too. Just getting a 5 in front of it to set it and forget it versus having a 6 in front of it to set it and forget it.
No, I think it makes total sense. I mean, if you had the opportunity to get a 5.375, and oh, by the way, if you're buying, that was a cash out refi. So again, that's not even a purchase, right? If you're able to get a purchase down and below 5.5, and oh, by the way, get the seller to pay for it, why not? Right? You're going to set it and forget it. It's going to make total sense. So I think DSCR is the way to go for lots of people. Certainly if you're buying in an LLC, the way to go. Again, people can reach out to you, have those discussions. I want to read you a headline on CNBC right now. Here we go. As the Fed cuts rates, adjustable rate mortgages are an unprecedented opportunity, says top advisor. Jonathan, when I read that, I get chills, shivers down my spine, and not happy, frankly. However, I understand that in certain circumstances, an arm makes sense. So I'm curious, what is going on with arms today? Where are they? Maybe a 5-year. What's going on with arms today?
So there's two arms, one for the conventional type thing, and then
Mhm.
one for the non-QM type thing. The
Okay.
conventional type thing, from an arm perspective, yesterday I was pricing one out for a client that was looking to refinance that they just bought last year on an arm, and it was like on a 5-year fixed, it was like 5.5, basically, without buying down
Okay.
at
So flat or
like
at
the
par.
rate, yeah, 5.5, and it was their primary, right? So
Mhm.
investment property slightly higher. I think it's
Sure.
investment property arms are not actually as well priced unless
Mm.
it's like kind of within the bucket of fitting within the county loan limits and everything. But those were sitting at, I think, around like 5.8, 6,
Okay.
which is still good, right?
Yeah.
Compared to a 30-year fixed, right? Which
Okay.
is going to be sitting now at about, 6.3, 6.5, around there,
Right.
right?
Okay.
So that is the 5-year arm scenario. Now, DSCR arm is where I got more shocked, because in that realm where this is, you have to close in your personal name. Okay, it's in 18 states. There's states that are excluded, but that itself was pricing as well on a 5-year arm at 5.5 without buying down
Hmm.
on an investment property DSCR arm.
Wow. Investment property. That's a key difference. Okay.
Correct. In DSCR with on an arm, right? So, but the way that it qualifies 2% above the starting rate.
So
So
it's underwritten at 7.5.
it'll make you breathe a little easier, Mike,
Yeah. A little better. Yes.
because it's underwritten at a higher rate,
Yeah.
so that if you are trying to do this, the underwriter is already pricing in the fact that
Mm.
it'll adjust, and worst case scenario, it adjusts 2% up, which means that underwriting should be based on the 7.5 number versus 5.5. But the
I like that.
client,
That's a little better. Okay.
yeah, from the client side perspective, though, it's a 5-year fixed at 5.5, and they
Mhm.
just keep making those monthly payments until they get to lock in a loan at 30-year fixed at 5.5, right?
Okay.
So that is kind of and you can buy it down. I think the yesterday when I saw it, and again, things change constantly, right? But last night when I was looking at it, you buy it down to 5%, right?
Wow.
Doesn't make sense to buy down a 5-year arm down to 5% for a 5-year fixed period. Depends, right? It
Maybe.
just depends, right? It's totally different than doing a set it and forget it 30-year fixed, right?
Correct.
So
Totally different. Totally different. Yeah.
now this is one of those things where now I bring it up to clients and I say, look, you can get an arm here, and you have this 30-year fixed. It's a little more cost, right? In the short term, long term, it's a little more cost. But would you rather have it fixed for 5.5 for 5 years and have to do something again in 5 years,
Yeah.
or
Yep. Yep.
you just, hey, I just keep it and
Yeah.
just run with it, right?
Yeah.
And I think people don't realize, like, they're like they put a lot of emphasis on like buying down costs and this and that cost of it, but like, as long as, I think most people these days are fair, right? And if you're not working with a mortgage person that's fair, right, drop them and run. But if you work with someone that's fair, that you understand, like, okay, they need to make a living and they're gonna get me a good deal, it doesn't hurt to just like buy it down, because I guarantee you will forget about the buy down.
Mhm.
You will forget
Right.
about the cost of the transaction, what happened, probably a week after closing, and all you're going to worry about is the statement that comes in monthly
Correct.
showing your
Exactly.
monthly payment, right? Because you might even forget about the rate. You
Mhm.
wouldn't the amount of people that I talk to every day that's like, I'm asking, what's your rate? You just refied last year. They're like, I
No
think
idea.
it's higher, in like and then I get the mortgage statement and they're like 1% off, right? So it seems like everyone is so focused on the micro, they forget about the macro. And I think where the investors, the real good investors, the solid investors really win is when they focus on the macro and say, okay, the big picture is, I do this here. I know I can set it and forget it. worry about that later, not worry about it all, actually set it,
Yeah.
right? And then continue to use whatever capital I'm getting from here to get good deals, because
Yeah.
people are still right now across the market afraid of what's going to happen. And that we were talking about before, the buyer's market kind of shifting away, and then we saw it. I'm seeing it kind of come back a little bit in terms of in
Yeah.
some pockets of the market where
Sure.
people are getting great deals with amazing seller credits.
Yeah.
Take those seller credits, buy it down, set it and forget it, move on. Like that. That's kind of the system that I think works best right now.
No, I love it. At the end of the day, you got to be working with a mortgage professional that is going to go review the options with you, really have the discussion, ask questions, really figure out your intention for the property. Because if you're going to hold it forever, maybe it's one answer. If you're going to hold it for 5 years, it could be a completely different answer. Jonathan, if somebody wanted to reach out to you or your partner, Dustin, what should they do?
Go to convoyhomeloans.com and let us know you came from Morat.
Yep. Tell me you came from Morat. You get him, Jonathan, or his partner, Dustin. And if you don't, you get stuck in a queue. And frankly, if you're a part of one rental at a time, we do not do queues. No lines for us. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.